How's it going, everyone? In this video, I'd like to take a look at Lyte Gaming PC. Now, this is a website that's been around for a little bit, and they essentially make custom pre-built computers at very affordable prices. You can customize everything you want, and right now they are running a Black Friday sale where they are eliminating the build fee from their prices so you can get some better deals, and you can get whatever PC you want. You can get a lower-end build, you can get a mid-range build, a high-end build, whatever you see fit. They're working on shipping as many PCs as possible during this holiday period. If you guys want to pick up a PC similar to this over on Lyte Gaming PC's website, I'll leave the link to a couple. Most notably, the Lyte Phoenix, which also includes a Ryzen 5 3600, GTX 1660 Super, and 16 gigabytes of RAM at 3200 megahertz, identical to what we're running here. That goes for $1,128. Remember, that is waiving off the build fee for their Black Friday discount, and you are also getting a 256 gigabyte ADATA SSD, a 1TB Seagate hard drive on top of that, and you're getting an 80 plus bronze certified power supply that's 500 watts, which is quite nice. That's $1,128. If you would like to stay under the $1,000 threshold, they have another fantastic option, the Lyte Alpha. This has a Ryzen 5 2600, which is still an incredibly capable CPU, and a GTX 1660, that is the non-super variant. But I should also note that PC still has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM at 3200 megahertz, which I really like to see. So both options are great. I'll leave a link to both of them, but the performance you're going to see is going to be that of the Lyte Phoenix PC, which is a Ryzen 5 3600 and a 1660 Super. With that being said, let's get on to the performance. But how does it perform out of the box? Well, relatively well, all things considered. I tested out some games, and I was pleased to see the performance. We took a look at Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition, Resident Evil Village, The Witcher 3, which is a game that I seemingly always want to check out, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then I also did want to take a look at a game and a genre where, you know, benchmarks typically don't center around this genre, but Tales of Arise, a JRPG that just came out. It's a more recent game, and it still showcases a game that I think people are interested to play, but also showcases that not every game that comes out on the market is going to be this gargantuanly difficult game to run, and Tales of Arise is a very pretty game, so we'll get to that in a second. I will leave a link to all of the information to Lyte Gaming PC in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, you can go on their website. They've got an FAQ, and you can ask me any questions on my experience, but they did some great packaging, got here super safe. But I do want to be fully transparent and let you guys know that they did give me the PC to produce this video with. But let's check out the performance. So let's take a look at Horizon Zero Dawn, which was a game that did come out initially back in 2017 on the PlayStation 4. But this PC version looks fantastic. You can look at the settings. 1920 by 1080. Didn't want to push it to 1440p, but very, very high settings where the game would look good, but also play really well. So if you check out the performance on the top right corner, we use NVIDIA's performance overlay. Very good frame rates. You're looking at, 55 to 60 frames per second, and this game at 60 FPS is so much better than the initial PlayStation 4 version that was locked at 30, maybe even less than 30. Beautiful game as well. Holds up incredibly well, and this PC version really did it justice. Initially it wasn't the greatest port in the world, but nowadays it's very, very good. So definitely happy with the performance on that with the 1660 Super. Next up, we have Resident Evil Village. Now, this is a game that was relatively well optimized on PC, and as you guys are going to see, even at very good settings, we're getting a solid performance out of it, north of 100 frames per second at times. So this is a game that also looks really good. Not a technically absolutely groundbreaking game, but definitely a serviceable 2021 game from a visual department. Great game as well, and playing it at least over 85, 90 frames per second, hovering over 100 at times, is very, very good with the 1660 Super, so that was another positive. Next up, we have Tales of Arise, which is again a game that probably wouldn't be a go-to for benchmarking, but I know a lot of PC gamers these days are also getting into their fair share of JRPGs, and this is an absolutely beautiful game from an art style standpoint, but it's not like a game that brings a lot of PCs to their absolute technical knees, at least not PCs even in the mid-range region. This game is running at 1440p, and as you guys can see, the frame rate is rock solid here as well. You know, some older PCs are going to have trouble running this game, but a mid-range PC like this, even at 1440p, is going to do quite well. And kind of goes to show that, yes, while you do have games that technically push the limit, you also have games like this that look really good, do have relatively big budgets, but aren't absolutely breaking the bank to run it even at 1440p and high frame rates, and you're seeing that right here. And we have Witcher 3, a classic. Yes, I know it's from 2015, but it's still a very good game to look at. We're playing it at 1440p at least, with everything maxed out except for Hairworks. Hairworks just kills the frame rate. And really, is it worth it for some nice hair effects? It looks okay, but we're just going to play it as standard. You guys can see the frame rate running very, very well. If you do dock it down to 1080p, it's going to run much, much better, and it's already running really well. But 1080p, yeah, the game was getting, I want to say over 90 frames per second, 90 to 100, and it was running really well. So there you go with that at 1440p. The 1660 Super can do some gaming. Probably not the ideal resolution. I would stick to 1080p on some of the higher end games, but for a game like Witcher 3 even, it works pretty well. Now we also gotta test out one of my favorite games on PC, Red Dead Redemption 2. This game initially came out on consoles back in 2018 and then got a souped up version on PC. Now you can make the game look incredible, but I would prefer to get 60 frames per second. I think the ideal way to play this game is at 60 frames per second and having that at a consistency. You guys can see the settings I use. It's not completely maxed out, but these settings will still let the game look very, very good. You can tweak it around a little bit, but this looks pretty solid. You could also alternatively just go to the high preset, and that'll keep things pretty simple and make the game look quite good and keep it at a consistent 60 frames per second. Does it sometimes dip below 60? Yeah, but it's not going to be super noticeable during gameplay. You're going to have a pretty consistent 60 frames per second, and man, the game is just so smooth at that frame rate. You can make it look a little bit better, but 1080p, high settings, or a variance of that, getting 60 frames per second, I think is the ideal way to play the game, and we're doing that with the 1660 Super here and the Ryzen 5 3600. Mainly the 1660 Super is getting us there. So that's going to do it for me. Those are the 5 games I chose to test. Probably going to produce more content with this. I've got some other games I'm going to test out. Halo Infinite, Battlefield 2042, Forza Horizon 5 right off the top of my head, but I thought this was a good table to set in terms of testing games on it. So that's going to do it for me. Again, links to everything in the description box below if you do want to check out a pre-built PC for yourself. But that's going to wrap up this one. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.